Hello, welcome to the One I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, wearing clothes. I am wearing a shirt with a hot Korean woman on the front, as usual. Not only is she on my shirt, I have several pictures of her on my wall. But anyway, let's continue. It is time for a new video reaction from our favorite LOLcow. I know her as Ask Anna, but her name is Anna Amos right now. Anna Ames. Anyway, she has a video called Accountant Storytime, Tax Scam, Stolen Business, and Stalking. So I'm just going to start off right off the bat. I'm going to predict the stalking part is maybe she went on a couple of dates with him and she rejected him, or vice versa. It could be either way. And because of this rejection, he maybe texted her once or twice after, or she happened to see him walking down the street. Like, I don't think it's going to be real stalking. You know, like, I don't think it's going to be a story where, like, she woke up and he was looking through her window or, like, digging through her trash. I'm just guessing. I haven't seen this, but I'm basing this on all the other videos we've reacted to her. Okay, so let's give it a go. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm a little sick today, as you can hear in my voice, and you want to know why I'm sick? Because I've been giving my power away.
Well, yeah, it's already stupid. So I guess all those people in the hospital just, gave away all their power, or I guess didn't pay their bills. Let's continue.
So men, I'm going to tell this story because it's affecting me right now. About 3 months ago, I was recommended to go see an accountant because I'm a dancer and I had kept track of all my taxes, and people were telling me, go see the accountant, you'll get more tax write-offs. So I think originally, before I got any write-offs, I owed like $7,000 or something.
Now, you guys remember her old video that we saw together, where she was talking about her taxes and how she did her own budget. And then remember, and I know we keep going back to this, but remember her crazy math where it was something like 3,000, like minus 1,000 was like 1,000. It was like basic math that she just got completely wrong. But she had all these notes on how to be like financially alert and independent, blah 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 blah. And the whole time she was going to an accountant, I guess.
Because I had done it already on TurboTax, and then I also tried to do it through H&R Block. I was going to go in person to H&R Block, but then at the last minute I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it because people are telling me not to do it. So then we go over to TurboTax.
We're learning a lot about her, so she just does what people tell her to do. I was going to go to H&R Block, but people told me not to. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
And I'm able to write everything off. And I think originally, I want to say I got it down to 1,800. But I go to see this accountant, and I also wanted to set up an LLC because at my specific club that I'm an independent contractor, so we have a self-employment tax that's put on us, and I didn't want that. So I knew.
Yeah, in America, if you're self-employed, you get taxed crazy by the government. Actually, if you're self-employed, you get taxed more than a business or so whatever. And I don't know why they have a crazy self-employment tax, but basically, the government wants you to work for the machine. Basically, I'm assuming that's why, because I'm assuming a lot of people don't work for themselves because of this tax. But anyway. Oh, and also, now I know she looks like a cheese sandwich, but notice how she looks without all the makeup and without trying. She looks a lot better natural than with all the makeup and stuff. I know.
If I got the LLC, I'd be able to take away most of the taxes since it was going to be under my business. So I go see this accountant that I'm referred to. I drive an hour up north, and then I'm with this man in his office.
On my knees.
And he seemed nice enough, but then he just like was acting all nervous.
Sure.
And he kept making comments about my looks. His
Sure.
picture of his wife was behind me. They had just divorced.
Sure.
She looked a lot like me when she was younger,
Sure.
like green eyes, blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like subtly flirting with me
I don't believe this. I just don't believe her. But okay.
the whole time. And then I let him do my taxes, and he barely does anything. Like, he just plugs some numbers into a form online, and
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
then I think it was like $5,700 he said I owed. And I was just there like, really? And I pulled up TurboTax on my MacBook, and I was like, that's so strange, because TurboTax, I think at that point I had it at $2,500. TurboTax was saying I owed this much. And I told him that I wasn't going to file my taxes with him, but because I felt guilty for wasting his time, when really he wasted my time, because I was the one who drove up there expecting better than that.
Just because you didn't like the answer doesn't mean he wasted your time. No one's time was wasted. See, her life, it's so transactional in her mind that even a normal human interaction, she thinks something has to be owed. Like, her mind is warped. I've been to tax people. I don't know what you call them. Oh yeah, accountants, whatever. And you're like, okay, well, thank you, and then like you leave. I didn't feel guilty. Like, different accountants sometimes get different results depending on how they move the numbers around. I mean, it's all bullshit. So he did the numbers, and that's the result he got. It's those are just facts. It's not I don't know. It's like being a hoe for all this time. It has really warped her reality. But anyway, let's continue.
I decided to file my LLC with him, and I didn't have to do it. I think online it's like $150 if you go through the website yourself. But I went through him, and he charged me $400. And I was like, okay, at least like.
Okay, well then that's a really dumb decision. Okay, so she doesn't like his tax results, but she's going to do another important business action with him. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, like, what makes you think you're gonna like the second results? And then she said she could have done it online for $150, but he charges $400. So either she's stupid, this is made up, or I just think she's stupid.
Like, this man won't be mad that I wasted his time. Let me tell you what a
She's
fucking
so
headache
weird.
this man has been. So he did my LLC for me, and I'm all excited. I leave, and I'm like,
So you're excited that you spent an extra $300, and once again, human interaction is normal. Stop treating it like it's a John paying a hoe. Like, she's so used to being on a pole and having a dollar bill stuffed in her G-string. She thinks every little thing she does, and vice versa, it's like a transaction. Well, I just spent 5 minutes talking to him, so I guess I owe him, or maybe he owes me. Like, this is not normal. This is not a normal person. Do not take advice from her. The slight chance I can reach one person and convince them not to take her advice, I'm happy.
yes, it'll be fine. And This man showed up at my club and he asked me too. When I was in the office, he was like, "Oh, would it be weird if I came to your club?" And I said, "No."
A normal person would have said yes. A normal person would have been like, yes, it would be weird if my accountant came to the strip club I dance at. Just like a normal person. First of all, a normal person wouldn't be a stripper. I mean, notice she makes her own problems and then blames everyone but her. She is great at avoiding accountability. And, the stereotype of women is they dodge accountability like Floyd Mayweather dodges jabs. And video after video, nothing's her fault. Video after video. It blows my mind. And there are people out there, like you can read the comments. There's women in these comments, you go girl. Of course.
I didn't expect him to make it weird though. And then he must have come like 3 or 4 times. And I did dance for him, I think the second time, but it was a little awkward because I felt like I couldn't really say no.
She's a moron. And I told you it was gonna be something like this. It's like when you're a stripper, nothing in your life can be normal. Okay? No human interaction can be normal once that person knows what you do. That's why I keep saying if she wants a better life, a quote unquote less awkward, less stressful, less drama filled life, leave this business, get I don't care, just any job, supermarket, sell makeup. I don't know what her real skills are, but just because she's a girl, there's so many jobs she can get that's not based on the sex industry. You could do the beauty industry. The beauty industry makes billions of dollars a year. You can work at the makeup island Target. I don't know, but she can get a real job. She can get a basic 9 to 5 job easily. Okay, but she's choosing this lifestyle, and then where she lives in Atlanta, I believe, and it's cheaper than living in Los Angeles or New York or Boston. So there's a better chance that you can get a regular 9 to 5 job and afford a smaller apartment. You know, she's making her life difficult on purpose. And then she's at the age where a lot of successful men are looking for a woman her age because they want a family, have children, and they will take care of her. But no, she's choosing this hedonistic lifestyle that so far has brought nothing but problems. But yes, she won't change her lifestyle. Why would you want to continue having weird relationships with men because no normal man will interact with you because you're a stripper? You have to wake up.
The first time he was with someone and I avoided him, so I didn't have to have a personal conversation with him, but I still talked to him and said hi. I think the second time I did dance for him, but I just kept waiting for him to ask me to go into a VIP room. And that second time that I danced for him too, he made some comment about how he was just being weird, talking about picturing me naked, how
You're a stripper. How dare a man tell a stripper he pitches her naked? The audacity to tell a stripper you have sexual thoughts about her. This guy's a creep.
it was so hard to have his self control as I was sitting across from him in the office. Like, who do you think I am? I hate when
I think you're a whore.
men treat me like I'm easy. Like,
You're a whore. Wait. Can we... She hates when men treat her like she's easy, but she's the one doing sexual acts for money. Yeah, you're easy. I mean, is she freaking retarded?
I went to college. I graduated a year early. I
So what?
have worked enough normal jobs. Like I just do what I do for the money. It's not it's not because I'm desperate. It's just easier. So yeah, he did all of that.
No, it's not easier because when you had a normal job, you didn't have this bullshit in your life. You're making life harder by being a stripper. If you worked at insert normal place here, you wouldn't have any of this drama. Every video she makes, she contradicts what she's trying to prove. She is a moron. Or this is some crazy troll job, which I doubt.
And then there was this whole thing where I needed the W-9 for my club to give them the EIN number for my LLC so it could be reformatted and so they could give it to their accountant. So then I was asking him for the form. He was making it seem like that was a big deal too. And I did have to get the EIN number through him because I couldn't get it online, which was also frustrating. And he texted me the papers and I think he emailed me, but I had to wait because it was during tax season and he told me it was too busy for him to send me one fucking document. So then I wait on this document that's so important, that's so hard to get, and then he finally sends it to me, and then he shows up at the club the next week too with that same document. But not only does he show up with the club, at the club, he put it in like this orange manila folder, gave it to somebody else so that they would give it to me, but he had already given me the form. And that day, I literally came in with the form printed out. And then my house mom, she was like,
Sorry, I love the stripper terms, house mom. Give me a break. Yeah, everything she's saying now is just going in one and out the other. Listen, you're a stripper. So when you are dealing with something serious in your life, like I guess trying to make an LLC, you don't have to say why. Just go, I want to go into business for myself. I want to start an LLC because the important part is your name. It's your business. And once you say I'm a sex worker, that completely changes how you're viewed. Okay? So like naming a porn star. Okay. So let's pretend you're friends with this porn star, but you don't know this person is a porn star. And then after 2 weeks of, I don't know, hanging out, whatever, like in a group of friends, he or she says, I'm a porn star. Okay, so guess what? All the social norms that a regular person would get are now gone. They're just out the window because if you're in the sex industry, you're not used to normal interaction. Just like she says earlier in the video, just talking to him, she felt like a transaction had to happen. Because in her mind, time equals a $5 lap dance or whatever. I don't know how much lap dances cost. I think 20, right? I don't know. So you're like, I spent 2 minutes with this person talking or dancing, so $50 is owed now. So like, once again, her mind is so warped, and he's right to treat her like this because she's a whore. Why would you treat a whore the same as you treated a nurse? Okay, well, nurse is a bad example. A barista. She needs to change her job, man.
oh, this is for you. I was like, really? That's so weird because
She has something written at the top, and he was waiting in the club for me then. I didn't realize it was there until I went back out. I don't care.
I just printed it out and I told her all the shit that he had been doing, and she was like, just don't talk to him again. And now I'm having to go through behind him to my LLC because there's this button. I created my own account, but there's some button there where I don't have access to my business. He has access to my business.
You're a moron. And I love how she's always mixing her whole life with her quote unquote serious life. That's why shit doesn't work.
So now I have to go around him. I sent in an email yesterday. I'm probably going to have to deal with all of that next week. I'm just so frustrated too. And
You should be frustrated with yourself. See, the reason why this story is so stupid, when she didn't want to use him to do his taxes, she should have left and it should have been over. I mean, it's that simple. So like the rest of this story, it's just bullshit that she caused herself.
then OnlyFans needed all of my paperwork for my LLC for me to prove that it was me. And I just had no idea. Like, not only did this man swindle me out of more money and more time, and then make me think I need him, and then try to get sexual gratification out of me, I don't even have access to my own business. And I'm not going to reach out to him. This is not.
You did this to yourself. Okay, it's not that hard. Okay, when I was in college, they were kids making their own businesses, like making a record label. Like, yeah, like I got an LLC, I'm a record label now. So if a 18-year-old kid can do it by themselves with no lawyers, and that's just one example, but there were several people I knew in college who had an LLC and that they did not go through a lawyer. And this is back in the early 2000s. Okay, and it's 2025 now, so I'm sure it's even easier to do it by yourself, maybe. Like, and also, you got to do things for yourself. Like, he's not charging you too much money or swindling you out of money. You think it's swindling because to you it's too much money. Well, guess what? You can do this on your own. So he's charging you for being lazy. It's that simple. That's why childcare costs so much, because you're too lazy to watch your own kid. So you get charged up the yin yang. And you can name several other things based on laziness. A dog walker. Okay, well, if you don't have time to walk your dog, you probably shouldn't have a dog. And if you're too lazy, you shouldn't have one. But because this is usually a mainly effort-based situation, you're going to get charged a lot of money because lazy people don't want to do something. And so, of course, you're going to take advantage of that.
Not a conversation that I'm having with him. This is something that I do behind his back, get back into my hands, block him, and then never talk to him again. This is not...
No, dumbass. Talk to him like a human being. Hey, we're done. I don't want to do business with you anymore. And cut ties. Like, remember, you're a sex worker, so in his mind, you're like a dime a dozen. So just like cut him off. Okay, bye. No, instead you block him and make it more drama. If you're just upfront, everything she does is wrong. I don't understand how a person can just be the poster child of wrong. It makes no sense.
This is not a teamwork thing. But yeah, I'm pissed.
You're the
and
one that made it a
it's not just this.
teamwork
I've
thing.
been doing this with a lot of people in my life where I just think, oh, I'm so like incapable. I think that I can't learn how to do something. So then I pay somebody else to do it. And
See? Lazy. Now, she said she could have made her LLC online for $150. She's the one that'll think, okay, I'll pay you $400. She's a moron. Does she even watch her own videos? All of this she caused But it's the man's fault. Okay.
And they do like a horrible job or take more shit. Like, I just don't even trust anybody anymore. I really don't.
'Cause you're a whore. Imagine living in a world where everyone's trustworthy. Well, how would you achieve that? Probably surround yourself with trustworthy people. So let's name an industry that doesn't have that. Okay, the sex industry. Probably most people involved with someone or in that industry is not going to be trustworthy. Now, maybe if you worked at Ralph's, you would probably have a circle of friends that were trustworthy. And then when they would recommend an accountant to you, that accountant would be trustworthy. This all starts with you.
will never trust a man to push paper for me ever again. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. I don't even have access to my own LLC. Like, if I wanted to, like, edit something, I can't. Oh
You're
my
dumb.
God. But at least he didn't do my taxes. But, you know, he has all my personal information, my social security number, my addresses, every past place I worked. So don't be like me. I'm not.
Oh, trust me. That is the best advice she's ever given. Don't be like me. That should be the first line of her first video, and that's it. That's it. Every other video she's ever done, delete, take that clip, don't be like me. Bam.
I'm not really that worried about him. He moves slow. I think he got his feelings hurt the last time because I didn't talk to him. So I'm not that worried. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's not even going to do anything with the LLC. It was just like manipulative of him to do. And he's probably going to wait for me to reach out to him next year or some shit. I think that's what he was thinking.
No.
I remember him too telling me that he didn't realize how smart I was until I pulled up my TurboTax already done.
He was kissing your ass to get laid. You're not smart. Oh my God. I forgot the exact number, but remember 3,000 minus 1,000 is 1,000. You said that. 3 minus 1 is 1. That's what you said basically. You're not smart.
And then he realized what he was dealing with. But he probably thinks I'm still stupid, though.
Yeah, he does.
Just because I haven't done something before doesn't mean I'm stupid. Because once I learn it once, trust me, I will never forget.
Well, then how come you're still a stripper? Because you've had nothing but bad, like, so far, not one good story has come from her being a stripper. So I don't think she's learning anything. Okay.
Oh, God, I'm just pissed.
You should be pissed at yourself.
Fuck these men.
I know. Fuck these men. Yeah, fuck these men you meet at the strip club. Why don't you be normal? Like, I want to ball her up and throw her in a trash can. Because I want to help society.
I think I only got maybe less than $100 from him at the strip club. So,
Who cares?
I'm only negative, like, because I would have already paid $150. If I got $100 from him, that's $250. So I'm only negative, like, $150 more. But yes, no man will ever be in charge of me again.
Actually, because you're a sex worker, the only thing in charge of you is men. It's men's lust. That's in charge of your life, which is kind of why your life sucks. You don't get it. Women aren't going to the strip club to see you. Women aren't subbing to your OnlyFans. It's men. Men are in charge of your life right now because you're working in the sex industry. Dumbass.
Because I feel like I really am smarter than most of them, and I just don't give myself credit for it.
You're a
Anyways,
whore.
look at this cute little bedspread I got. There's Reaper sleeping. He's so sweet.
You probably get
I
AIDS
tried
from
to
that
wash
bed.
my bedspread, and then I put it in the dryer, and it burned.
Yeah.
So I had to get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's down below.
Dumbass. Yeah, she's the perfect example of what not to be. Okay, people, we're done. I've said enough. You guys have a good one, and don't forget to subscribe to my OnlyFans. Peace.